Hello everybody and welcome back to the Library of Ruina. Alrighty, so I have a plan for this episode and the next episode. What we're going to do in this episode, we are going to try and finish up some of our invitation screens, since we do have a decent amount of question marks that have not been done, and we're maybe going to do a general reception or two, and then in the next video we are going to be doing the second part to the City of Drama, and then I think I have a plan for the episode after that, but we'll see. We'll see how it's going. We'll see how we're feeling. Now, installing the City of Drama Part 2 did come with a unforeseen consequence, and that was we had to get rid of the magical girl of fiction, which means a lot of our floors got broken builds, but I've attempted to fix them up, so here's what we got. Caius, who was using the magical girl of fiction herself, is now using the Enforcer. 3 trail, 3 extirpation, I always say expiration, I know that's not how you say it, but that's how I've always said it. And 3 brace up, just for a ton of draw. As for passives, we're using the 12 fixers because it is just very strong. Bottom deal, whenever we discard, we draw an additional page. And then stacking the deck, whenever we discard, we restore an additional light, and respiration, restore an additional light if we've used all of our light in the previous scene. Overall, I think this is... I don't think it's going to be quite as strong as the Magical Girl of Fiction was, but I'm thinking that this should basically be close enough. I mean, we use 1 brace up, and we discard 1 page and draw 3 pages, and we also restore 1 light for 0 cost. So that to me seems really, really good. I think it's with Serum R. Brace up will cost a little bit of light, but even if we spend all of our light, we're going to be gaining an additional from discarding, gaining an additional from spending it all. So, overall, I think this should be relatively fine. I think Caius will still be quite the powerhouse. The next floor I really had to redo was Tifrith, because 3 of our people used Magical Girl of Fiction stuff. So, here's what we got. Now, this is placeholder, because I actually think that some of them are going to be using City of Drama stuff, so this is all, to be determined. But Amaterasu is using Rika's page. Singleton, because I like Singleton. We are using Yay to immediately recover from stagger, locked potential, health hauler, and twin hauler. Basically, a lot of sustain and a lot of power, and I think that should be pretty good. Kinsey is using Zion's page, which... a little bit more interesting. We went a bit more slash focused. We have Encourage just to recover a tiny bit of health as we are just doing our normal stuff. Firm is a great mountain because we have so much health, but it's going to be chopped in half due to Zion's page. And then Offensive Position for that little bit of extra fighting power. Salsa is using Kenji's page, and it's a little bit interesting. It's basically a slash-only deck, but we also have World of Spirits, just as that little bit of extra oomph. Now, the passives are the exact same as Kinsey. Encourage, just to recover a bit more health. Firm is a great mountain because we're missing so much health, can't go wrong with that extra health recovery. And Offensive Position for more combat prowess. And finally, Lily is using the Purple Tear, who we actually didn't have the Purple Tear on any floors for quite some time, ever since we took it off of Hakma. So I went ahead and I actually made builds for all of her stances, so I'll show you those in a second. But she's using very, very simple Trace Page with Emotion Amplification Module, Overclock, and a fighter that never retreats. Overall, just a really strong layout. Now, here's what we have for our actual pages. For Slash, I have 3 probing attacks, so if we use them as we get them, we get 2 4-9 on hit, draw 1 page, which is going to be empowered by being in Slash stance. So obviously, with Amplification Module also stacked up, and assuming that we just went over the emotion threshold, that is a super easy +5 Slash power for both probing. So that's basically a guaranteed spend 1, draw 2. We are then using triple clone. I think you see where this is going. And then, technically, 6 copies of Rapid Gashes. You might be saying that's a little bit of a weird choice, but I thought it'd be fun to try it out. Obviously, Rapid Gashes has 2 Slash dice, so that was kind of my thinking there. And we're going to be drawing so much with Probing Attack that the Rapid Gashes are almost always going to be free, or only like 1 to 2 light at the most. Pierce is a little bit different. We have Frontal Assault because it's just a really cheap double Pierce card, and it also restores 1 light. Brace Up because it's Pierce and it draws us 2 pages. Mend Weapon because it gives us +1 Pierce power and it restores 1 light. Fitting Swallow, which, if we use it as soon as we get 2 extra speed for that die. It does come with a dodge die, which is pretty cool, and then, of course, the really strong Pierce of gain 2 haste, which is going to synergize with Fisticuffs. We're then using Fleet Edge, gives us another evade, and then we can gain up to 2 haste. Gale Kick, I thought it would just be a pretty strong counter dice, combined with the draw 1 page, although it is probably one of the weaker pages in this deck. And then Fisticuffs. If speed is higher than the target's all offensive die on this page, deal 3 damage on hit. Obviously, we are going to be gaining, at best, +5 power for Fisticuffs, so this just seemed like a no-brainer, just kind of like nice little combo to throw in there. I don't know if it'll be amazing, but in theory it is. The Wing, Voracious for Knowledge, because it draws 2, restores 2 light. And Collision, because I'm pretty sure that we're always going to win the collision. Finally, Blunt. We have G for light, High Kick for draw, Multi-Slash because it's just pretty good, Steel Knuckles for draw, Great Serpent's Impact, so all of our Blunt die are going to be dealing more stagger damage, because the second die has ×2 power scaling, so if we get that +5, it'll be +10, technically. Sink into Misery because it rolls multiple times, Binding Arms because we can make it super cheap, and Repressed Flesh because it has a pretty nice counter die, not to mention it also draws a page. And then the guarding one, it's not 100%, I just kind of threw the guard one together, but Book of Light for light, Extract Fuel for light, Tail Whisk for light, Zwei Defense Arts for draw and light, Iron Wall because it gives us endurance, Overcharge because we do not suffer the downsides from it, Bian because it draws a lot, Opening Ceremony because it makes everything cheaper, and Mirage Storm, which we are ideally going to be spamming. At least that's the theory. Myra also lost her page, so I gave her Enhanced Esther, and I tried to make it somewhat good. So Enhanced Esther is interesting, because Grace of the Prescript is actually a little different. At the start of the act and every 3 scenes afterwards, gain prescripts for 3 scenes. Boost the power of a random type of offensive die by +2, types do not repeat. Prescript can be fulfilled by rolling the die of the corresponding type in a scene. Fulfilled prescripts stay permanently with half of the bonus, so instead of +2, they get +1. And then, of course, for passives, Breaching Armaments, because it just seems good. Specified Strategy, because it sort of helps with our defensive dice. Adjust Stance, can't really go wrong with that. And Deep Breaths to help us with light. And then, of course, we're going singleton to make use of Unlock, Multi-Slash, Shockwave's Way Defense Arts, Will of the City, Opening Ceremony to make everything cheaper, and here is the big brain. Rooster's Crow. Whenever we get the Pierce prescript, we use Rooster's Crow. Whenever we get the Slash prescript, we use Canine's Growl. Whenever we get the Blunt, we use Donkey's Bray. That's sort of my thinking. I think it's simple enough. It should work out in our favor, but we'll have to use it to find out. Now, Marcos Jr. no longer has access to the actual Magical Girl of Love's page, so he does have the second fixer, Queen of Hatred page, once again, with a tiny bit of a rework. Now we have Token of Friendship to help recover a little bit more health, since we're not going to be able to restore quite as much as we would before, since we are missing out on that Magical Girl of Love's page. And then, of course, In the Name of Justice in a one-sided attack ideally will be very good for health regen, and Arcana Flash to finish it all off. As for passives, Mirage, so we don't get staggered quite as fast, Hawk's Eye, because it's just good synergy with what we're already doing, and Fervor to enable us to land our offensive dice just that little bit easier. And now it's time for Azazel, who is using the Zena Black Silence page, which I actually asked, I left a comment asking if we could get a headless of this skin. The dev said he would ask the artist, so we'll see. But ideally, we will be able to put Azazel in this outfit without having Zena's head overtake his. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, it's just regular Black Silence stuff, except for the alternate deck. And then, Gotcha Sword. So we have a chance to apply a little bit of everything. Random Hauler, apply a little bit of everything. Double Hauler, and Unstable Charge. Overall, pretty simple. Sombor is now using Greta's page. It is a little bit of a work in progress, but my thinking on this page was, it has bleed synergy, it has a lot of block synergy, and it also has a lot of ways to do the recipe. Because once the recipe is done, all of Greta's pages are, like, enhanced, as far as I know. And then we're using Your Shield, Mixed Modifications, and Kizuna. Now, Kizuna, I actually thought would be really, really smart. Because not only is Marcos Jr. going to be healing, but Tackle Mount, if we hit it, it is going to recover 4% of our max health per hit. So, for 8, 12, that's 12% max health. We're missing 30%, but then combined with Marcos's healing, we're gonna get back up to full health like it's nothing. Not to mention the protection that Greta gets. It's just gonna be insane. At least I think so. So, yeah, overall, should be pretty good. Gotcha, I think, is actually going to be really good. Not only does it draw, but we inflict 2 bleed and 1 tear. Which, you know, pretty solid taste test because we're using Greta. And, yeah, overall, this should be pretty good. We have a lot of ways to restore light. Taste test technically restores 1, since we have to spend 1 to use it, and it restores 2. Let's have some fun, restores 3. Multi-slash restores 2. Tail, Whisk, restores 3. BN is going to allow us to draw a ton, and then we just have, overall, a lot of draw. Pout on Slam is a draw, Gotcha is a draw, Season the Meat is a draw, so I think this deck should be really, really good, as simple as it is. And lastly, Hakma's entire floor basically got destroyed because we no longer had any of the Unity cards, other than the base game ones, of which you get like 2. So, everybody basically has the exact same cards, give or take 1 or 2. And they all have to do with protection, endurance, and restoring light to ourself and draw. We're using Renko Partner and Mira Partner and Emergency Rations. It basically just spreads a bunch of buffs around and also recovers Hakma's health. For Kaden, we have Unlock, and then we, do not have Opening Ceremony. The reason we have Opening Ceremony on Hakma is because he's the one who's going to get the blessing, and we want that blessing to be as cheap as possible. If we only spend 4 light versus having to spend, 8, that's a big deal. That really, really helps us get moving on that quest, we'll call it. So, Kaden is using Renko Partner Grief, Mira Partner, and Emergency Rations. You might have seen that one coming. Overall, more health recovery because we do have so much health and it is going to get a little bit of a chop. We don't actually need Unlock anymore because he used to have a Blade Unlocked passive, but he no longer does. Abby is using Mirane because it spreads around buffs just a little bit, so overall, I figured it would just be pretty good on this floor. You might have seen this one before. Renko Partner, I want to use both, but I actually think what we have instead might be stronger. So we're using Renko Partner, Serum K Infusion, so at the start of the scene, everybody gets an extra Jack passive. So our 2 characters that have Jack's passive, they're going to be recovering 4 health. But everybody is recovering 2 health. So overall, very strong. Network of Thoughts, because it's going to let us hit emotion level 5 that little bit sooner. Dietrich Floyd, who's using Bellis's page because any buffs we get are effectively doubled. Seems pretty good for the amount of buffs that we're spreading around. Network of Thoughts, once again, make it easier to just get to that point where we can actually full emotion level 5 White Knight. Boss's Orders because it is going to be spreading protection. Threefold Tenacity because it makes Dietrich that little bit stronger. And finally, Annabelle with the Ujat page. Entrapment Device, because she is going, I believe it's the spear one who does more damage if they have bleed. So with Entrapment Device, that just is really fitting. J-Corp, because it gives us a little bit of extra stagger resist since we don't have that much on the Ujat page. Network of Thoughts, obviously, just makes it easier. If 3 of us have it, that means anytime any of the 3 go up in emotion level, the other 2 do as well. And then Jack's page for that tiny bit of extra regen. So 3 of our characters have Jack, so 3 out of 5 characters are recovering 4 health every single scene, while the other 2 are only recovering 2. But even still, that is a really, really big deal. Now, that being said, that's all the builds that I've reworked. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Some of them are placeholders, but that's okay. First things first, the Windflow office has challenged us. Icarus endured to all damage, but quite weak to stagger. Let's see. Wingsuit. Gain 1 flow at the start of each scene. Cruise. If the character didn't hit for at least 2 scenes, restore 1 light and draw 1 page at the start of the next scene. Aerobatics. Is that supposed to be acrobatics? Aerobatics. Don't spend flow by the attack of which value is 12 or higher. Interesting. Spread out. Gain 1 flow next scene. Flow. Block up to X attacks for the scene. On hit, restore 1 to... On hit, restore 1 light. Soft landing. Spend 1 flow to draw 1 page. On hit, spend 1 flow to draw 1 page. With the wind. All dice on this page gain power equal to user's flow. With a dodge and on clash win, gain 1 flow next scene. Sharp drop. 6 to 10... On hit, deal 5 stagger damage if Flow had invoked this scene. So if you got hit and then you hit with this, you do a bit more damage. High altitude flight. Gain 1 flow this scene and the next. On hit, gain 1 flow. Wing of All. Give 1 flow to all allies next scene. Gain power equal to the sum of flow all allies have. Interesting. And then wingsuit crews, and it seems like they all have relatively the same cards, but without the special one. I wonder how this would work on Hakma's floor. Just not taking damage.
Ah, it appears as though you have flown too close to the sun. Allow us to fix that for you.
Alright, so they're not the strongest. So what I'm going to do, Safeguard and Landsknet. 1 endurance, 1 protection to all allies next scene. Overall, seems pretty good. I'm going to go for Bodyguarding, gives everyone protection. Then I'm going to go for Shockwave. Okay. Let's give everyone 1 protection, 1 endurance. And then Zwei Defense Arch should do us relatively good. Let's gain more endurance, and that's going to be it for that turn. Then I'm going to go for Bodyguard, Shockwave. Here we go. Ah!
You have flown too close to the sun this time. I suppose it is up to me to test your newfound faith in your wings.
I don't think I'm doing Hakma's voice completely correct, but you know what? That's fine. Next scene, we are basically going to be unstoppable with how much endurance we have, and since everybody has protection, they have 4% chance to boost any sort of defensive die. I'm gonna go for Impromptu Analysis, and then I'm actually just gonna hold. Then I'm gonna go for Shockwave and Multi-Slash. Let's see, what are you doing? I will go Impromptu Analysis. We'll also go for another Multi-Slash. Let's see, Zwei Defense Arts. Land. Okay, and then we'll give some endurance to everybody, and we will go for another Multi-Slash. Here we go. Okay, there's that flow. Flow's preventing damage, alright, yeah. We knew that was coming. Ah! We got through the flow for the Multi-Slash. Everybody gets endurance and protection next scene. Ah! Interesting. So flow procs if they take damage at all. Okay. Now, if I'm understanding it correctly, if it does 12 or more damage, it just doesn't proc flow. At least that's how they make it sound. Okay. We finally got Baptism, but I'm gonna go for Opening Ceremony before we start stacking it up. Hopefully that's going to work out in our favor, but we're certainly gonna see. We gotta get through all that flow. Opening Ceremony does a ton of stagger damage. Combat Preparations, very good. We win those. After all, we have 1,000,000 endurance. However, they are managing to hold their own thanks to flow. Everybody gets 2 protection, combined with all the other protection we're going to be giving. Will of the City. Multi-Slash. Okay. Very good. More endurance. They cannot hope to get through this one. I am going to pick up... I do actually want Confession, but first, Advent. And then... we'll pick up Penitence now, and then... Paradise Lost later. But for the moment, allow us to continue playing out this little game. The time has come. Sincere Baptism. All around you, there are people who believe in you. Just as you might have suspected, you are not alone. You will be taken care of, one way or another. Alright, here we go. Big preparation turn, but we do still have to get through all that flow. way defense arts, they have no chance of winning clashes against our defensive dice. However, they do have so much flow, we're actually struggling to do good damage on them. For now. Get unlocked stacked, although realistically we should probably get rid of that. Okay, Will of the City. Confession. Paradise Lost.
Ah. The baptism shall continue. And next turn, we shall become unstoppable. But for the moment, allow me to show you what true devotion looks like.
Still a lot of flow to get through. But we're basically at the point where we're about ready to finish this and go completely balls to the walls, so to speak. Just need to get through those final steps. This is part of the reason I actually think this floor is one of our best late bloomers, is because even though it does take a lot of setup, once we're actually good to go, I think this floor is actually one of, if not the most powerful. Now, I don't know if we have enough light to... No, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, so we don't have enough light to fully max out this turn. But we're getting to the point, as soon as we have 3 light, we can use Paradise Lost, and this battle is absolutely won.
The time has come. Now you shall see what happens when you do not truly have faith. Now thy will suffer. Thy time is over.
Just gotta get through all that flow first. Luckily, it seems like we're not having too hard of a time with that.
Behold my power.
Wow. Yeah, I think Hakma, despite how long he takes to get going, we still had one more thing that could have given us even more power. That, of course, being... which one is it? Apostles. While this character is alive, Hakma, allies deal +2 to 7 extra damage with attacks. If the character has used baptism 12 or more times this reception, also allies gain +1 power. So, I really do feel like this is by far one of our strongest floors. Its biggest downside is how long it takes to get going. But, you know, that's okay. Not to mention, everybody has finally aged experience, which is a 7% chance to boost any dice by +1. And chances are, we're gonna get to the 11th scene just because of how long it takes to get going. Next up, Inteleon. I think I said that right. Normal, endured, normal, endured, normal. 250 health, 150 stagger. Waiting time. Speed dice +1, gain an additional speed die for each staggered enemy. unless it actually means staggered, but I think it means staggered. Agent. Become pistol type at the start of the act. Add special pages which can change the type to the ego deck, which costs 0. So you change from pistol to presumably melee. Deal 50% damage to weak and fatal resistances. Deal minus 50% to resisting, so endured. For every 30% of max HP lost this act, restore 1 additional light and draw 1 more page each scene with a maximum of 3 more to both. Ammo supply. After every 3 successful attacks with melee combat pages, add a random ammunition to hand. Quickly reload. Restore 2 light, draw 1 page, add a random ammunition to hand. Detour. Discard a page with the lowest cost if a melee or ranged page was discarded. All offensive/defensive dice on this page gain +1 power. Quick knockdown. On use, draw 1 page. On hit, add a random ammunition to hand. Impact water bullet. Trigger different effects according to different types of pistol, being melee or ranged. Add a random ammunition to hand. Snipe. All offensive dice on this page gain +2 power. Burst out. Discard 2 ammunitions. Draw remaining ammunition pages up to 3. Water burial. This page's cost is fixed. Target resist. Oh, it changes endured to weak or fatal. Okay, I gotcha. On use, discard all pages. All dice on this page gain power equal to the cost sum of the discarded pages. Whoa. Deal +1 damage per ammunitions discarded. Snipe. This dice's maximum is increased by 20. Okay. On Clash Win, destroy all dice on the opponent's page. 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 2 to 7. But it's essentially 1 to 25, 1 to 25, 1 to... yeah. Okay, who the heck should go after this one? Alright, Lily. Let's see how you do. I have the utmost faith that you will do perfectly fine. Now, I'm gonna go to slashing stance. Yeah. Let's go for an immediate probing attack. That should win just fine. And then go for clone. Okay, that's a 2 draw. Take a tiny bit of damage, but we'll be fine. Clone gets the gashes. Let's do love, so we restore a bit more health. Okay. I'm going to go for another clone. And then probing attack. Here we go. Ooh! Alright. Fine, you may have won that battle, but you will not win this war. One more clone to go. Probing attack right here. And the final clone right here. And then we basically go all in next turn. As much as we can, at least. Double draw. Let's do Blessing. Why not? Okay, here we go. Double Rapid Gashes is going to be such a gigantic turn. Even though we do miss out on 2 extra card draw, I think it'll be fine. Ow. Okay. Rapid Gash. Okay, we get a block. Rapid Gash. Let's see. Now, probing, and rapid gash. Okay, we draw a page. Let's do Road to Happiness, or no, Intemperance. Yeah, that's the one. And then we can go In the Name of Love and Hate. Then we shall see. So let's see, how much is this? 5? You know what? Swap to blunting, and in the name of love and hate. And then we can go for high kick. Goodbye. Just like the magical girls would. It's been a while, everyone. How have you all been doing?
Hey, Granny. What did you call us for again? There's a lot of work for me to do already.
Hey, it's a bit embarrassing when you say that. You guys know it well. You're the only ones who I can contact right now. The captain went missing, and Oliver left to join the Hannah Association. Certainly, there is no one else for you to approach but me and Reynard. So, Grandma Naimon, what did you want to talk about? Oh, right. I should have brought it up earlier. As you all know, I recently began working as a fixer for R-Corp, right?
I know it well since you practically told everyone you could reach about it. But why would you suddenly bring up this story from a few months ago?
Come on, take a look at this.
This?
This is an invitation to the library. It's currently a star of the city.
Do you have to go there or something? Has it gotten to the point where R-Corp would send a fixer like you?
It's a bit complicated. It's not safe to talk about it in a place like this. Come on, then. Don't you have anything for this? Here. Whoa, what's this thing for? It's a device that makes use of simple recognition inhibition technology. This has to be the best thing for a light-mouthed old lady such as yourself. Thanks for the compliment. Anyway, it seems that R-Corp was also trying to deal with it on their own. By the way, speaking of the fourth pack, rumors say that the entire unit was wiped out. I also heard that they're giving up on the fourth pack completely due to an energy shortage caused by the collapse of L-Corp.
What does any of that have to do with you going to the library?
From the looks of it, R-Corp is being hesitant to stop at this point. Besides, the captain of the fourth pack must have some valuable information about R-Corp's singularity. This doesn't only concern the wings.
Could the library have anything to do with the mass disappearance of W-Corp's first-class passengers?
What? Have the rumors already spread that much?
Granny.
This is what you've been talking about on the phone for dozens of minutes at a time. Last time. I had no idea what I was thinking of.
Looks like they weren't able to hide it pretty well. It's all over the newspapers. The amount of warp train passengers has been dropping for a while, but everyone just tried to be more careful in the end since there's not really any substitute for a warp train in the city.
Yeah, anyway, I was told that there are also a bunch of W-Corp books over there. So they told me to go and get them as well. But there's a slight problem.
Which is? We even managed to beat the Blood Red Knight. What could possibly get in our way? I know that hazards which have risen to the stars in a short period of time should be underestimated, but still.
Look at the books on this invitation. The Complete Book of Nikolai, the Book of the Warp Cleanup Crew, and the Book of Oliver. To think even that jerk died there.
Oh, to think even that jerk died there. That was the wrong voice, that's alright.
Yeah, I'm a bit concerned about that too. I'm even thinking of running away if things start going badly.
Granny, while you may be quite the experienced fixer, Aren't you aware of what's gonna happen if you dare to give up on one of the Wings' demands?
Of course I'm aware, but wouldn't it be better to survive even if you get dumped by the Wings rather than die in the library? I'd say I'm pretty good at looking after myself, too. But, well, if there happens to be some problems, I'll have to start living at Reynard's office.
Where's my office being brought up all of a sudden?
What is it, Reynard? Is this old coot just telling me to stay out and die?
No, that...
Ugh. I unfortunately have no help to give. I'm sorry, Granny. Don't worry. You usually try to assist me anyway, Ogier. Well then, I'll be on my way.
And she's gone.
Will she be okay? The library even took Oliver.
Come to think of it, Bayard also died in that place. Well, she said she will run away if something, will go wrong, so let's not worry too much. Even though she had less strength, her technique was the best among us. Huh. Is that old lady actually coming here?
Is she someone you know?
Do you remember Oliver, who, came here a while back?
Yes, it would have been a big deal without you then. Thank you for what you did that time. So, what about him?
Oliver and I used to be fixers at the same office when we got to know each other. There were about 12 of us in that office, and that lady was the oldest one among us.
Is being old something special?
Fixers need to make extensive use of their bodies, no matter what the job may be. When you get older, your body loses strength, so things can get pretty risker, really? Is that what I just said? Oh man, I can't speak no bad. Ahem. So, things can get pretty risky for many old fixers. Most of them retire, or open private offices once they think their bodies are finally starting to give out.
Then, what about the other ones who still continue to work?
Well, first of all, the old fixers who work alone in the city, everyone tends to have their own special thing. For example, that old woman we saw is a fixer who makes up for her lack of strength with a bunch of special equipment. Well, age becomes meaningless anyway when you're a fixer who's experienced and famous enough to be recognized as a color, like the Purple Tear.
Yeah, the Purple Tear.
More than that, it's nice to see a familiar face.
You sounded like you were just from the same office earlier, so you must have known each other well, right?
That's the way it is. There were 10 more of us in the office. We still had to see each other's faces every now and then, even though we might not have gotten along well with each other.
Then, Roland, do you want to greet our guest this time?
Oh, all of a sudden?
I think it would influence the guest's emotions if they meet someone they were familiar with, rather than someone they don't know at all.
Yeah, I got it.
Is this the library? I got sent here right after I signed it. This reminds me of W Corp's trains.
It's been a while, Grandma Naimon. How have you been?
There we go. He teleported it. Roland! Never thought we'd meet here of all places. You made that mess and then just disappeared. I thought you died somewhere.
A lot of things happened to me. How are the others doing? I heard about Ogier and Astolfo from Oliver.
Oliver? Did Oliver really go to this place? And died?
It was unavoidable.
I think I now know how Oliver met his end here. Well, that's that and this is this. I'm working here and I can't help it. That aside, I'm actually grateful to Oliver. Yes, these gloves. I think I roughly get it now. So, you were asking how the others were doing? Yeah, the ones I've heard about were only Ogier and Astolfo. Ogier always comes when I call, even if he is normally busy with his own work. Ruina grumbles every day saying he doesn't like it, but he still comes to meet me too anyway. Everyone is out there busy living their own lives. As for me, I came here because I was hired by ArCorp to do their bidding. ArCorp? Yes, a wing hired me. I'm going to commit a breach of contract if I say any more than this. I guess so. This is the wings we're talking about. But what happened to you? I really don't know myself. I've been messing around for a while, then the purple tear helped me out a bit, and now I've suddenly found myself in this mess. As you can see, I don't exactly have much of a choice here. What a shame, Roland. I'm sure you're sick and tired of doing this sort of thing. What am I supposed to do about it? I might just get turned into some popcorn machine if I ever start slacking. Do you really want to become a popcorn machine that much? Roland, I know you've met someone you're acquainted with, but how are you two still chatting until now? And I told you, if you spout such nonsense again, I'll really turn you into a popcorn machine. Sorry, I'll stop here. Welcome, dear guest. It seems there was some commotion, but I am Angela, the director and librarian of my roles. Namesake. Yeah, you must be the pale librarian of the famous library. According to the invitation, this is where I can get those books I saw. Yes, that's right. I've also heard that the books of ArCorp and WCorp are here in this place. I think their voices are starting to get a little bit too samey. And in order to get the books, an ordeal would be given at the risk of one's own life. Correct. And the ordeal will be to deal with the librarians of the library, who will be entertaining you shortly. Thank you for the explanation. May I go through now? Yes. Now then, Roland, get ready to entertain our guest here. What? Why me? I simply thought that you were the most qualified person for this job. Or do you want me to pay for the small talk you've been doing? Yeah, okay. Whatever you say. Looks like you're having a hard time too, Roland. Now, may you find your book in this place. Alrighty. Naimon. Speed dice +1. Gain an additional speed die at emotion level 3. Auxiliary power. Can store up to 30 charges at once upon proceeding to the next act. Or scene. Not sure. Preserve the charge stacks. Okay, definitely next act. Seasoned prowess. In a clash, change the result to win if the difference in rolls is not higher than charge on self divided by 10. 12 fixers. Oh boy. Duel. Immune to immobilization, the opponent gains bonus max HP and max stagger resist, gain 10 charge at the start of the act. Energy charging. Restore 1 light, gain 1 charge. On clash win, gain 2 charge. Energy stabilization. On use, spend 2 charge to draw 1 page until there are 6 pages in hand, up to 3 times. Charge sword. On use, spend 4 charge to boost the minimum value of all dice on this page by +2. Energy reconstruction. Combat start. For the scene, whenever user would spend charge, gain 3 charge instead. User needs to be able to spend charge to activate this effect. On clash win, gain 2 charge. Energy crush. On use, gain 10 charge next scene. On Clash Win, gain 2 charge. On hit, spend 7 charge to destroy the first dice on the first 2 pages the target will use next scene. Yikes. Release the charge overload. Only usable at 30 plus charge. On use, dice on this page deal +1 additional damage for every 3 charge the user has. On hit, spend 10 charge to destroy a combat page set on another random speed die of the target. On Clash, this die is rolled the amount of dice on the opponent's page times. Whoa. So if we have 3 dice, it's rolled 3 times. Okay, I gotcha.
Do we really have to fight, Granny?
Roland, are you doubting my capabilities?
Well, no, but, you know, sorta. Feels a bit weird, so, well, I guess I'll just do my best then.
Let's do this. Durin! Ah! Okay. Mook Workshop. Could go for Pulsation. Lies.
Well, I'm just full of lies. What can I say? Alright, let's see.
Oh, a free ulterior logic. Don't mind if I do. And then we can go Zelkova just to draw.
Ulterior logic!
Ow! Ugh! Okay, we're taking a little bit of damage, that's fine.
Zelkova Workshop. Let me show you how it's done, Granny.
Urging.
Yes.
Extra speed is going to be very handy. Let's see. Alias Workshop. And then free Crystal Altier. Ooh, actually. Wheels, and then free Crystal right here. Get rid of that dice. Do not want to deal with it.
Crystal Ulterior.
Very nice. Could go for Guilt. I actually think we're going to. Reduce the amount of stagger damage we're going to take. I'm going to go for Marionette. Maybe we could use it as a finisher.
Alright. Let's see what you got.
Let's reduce that by 2. And then I will go for Ranga Workshop. And then we'll also go for Zelkova just to draw a little bit of extra. Here we go. Ow! Okay. Spent charge to win those. That's fine.
Looks like you're staggered now, Granny.
Actually, where's, there's one I want. Not Fervent Beads. That's a bad idea. Here it is. Sword of Frost.
Let's inflict some bind.
Could go for Remorse, though. I don't think we're actually going to be using it. Okay, let's get ourselves ready to go, because next turn, I think that
is gonna be that. Alright, Granny. Let's see what you've got. Alright. You better hope you're able to stop me. Ulterior logic! Furioso!
Well, she survived Furioso. Not by a lot, but she did survive.
I guess you're not so bad, huh? Well, sorry for what I have to do. Could Goodbye, Granny. I was wondering if you're still as good as you used to be. She really left in an instant. Whew! She ran away after all. She's still as quick as she was back then when it comes to backing off at the first signs of defeat.
We were still able to get her book, even if she only fought for a brief moment. While it is incomplete, it still seems to contain quite a bit of information. What's wrong?
Nothing, it's just, as the Batten War approaches, I think W Corp, T Corp, and R Corp are gonna be in some big trouble. We have the books of W Corp cleaners here. The captains of R Corp's 4th pack are here. Same for the Kane office, too. They're an office affiliated with T Corp.
But what about any of this?
Just suddenly remembering how the library got this big. Back then, I was already pretty exhausted after entertaining just a few rats.
Because this entire process is steadily progressing towards getting the one true book.
I guess so. Aren't we almost there?
Just a little bit more. In a little while, I'll finally be able to get my hands on that book. I'm sorry. It was a request from a wing, so I did my best to accomplish it. It wasn't enough. The opponent was too strong. Don't you think it's better to run away rather than die like a dog? Oh, of course. I returned all of the advance payment they gave as a sign of apology. Even if you try to cut me down, I still won't have anything else to say. Don't worry. I won't talk about this. If you still have any doubts, can't you just put some sort of special device inside my head? By the way, I gave Roland a set of special passives for that. Lone Fixer, Twin Hauler, Fervor, and Own Tempo. Really, really simple. Lone Fixer just because he's alone. I finally found you, you little brute. Why would a kid like you be wandering around here in these clothes? From the looks of it, you don't even live here.
I have good instincts. You should consider it. How much money do you have?
Ha! You're the one that got us dumped here. How can you make such a ridiculous boast? Shut up. Oh god, I guess this is my voice now. Okay, well, fine. First, steal something of money. Steal some money from this woman, and then go to... Ah, what a jump! Get after that woman! I have no idea how you should talk, so I'm just gonna take a gamble. How long will they chase me? If this continues, I will surely be caught up. This way is a dead end, but there is a place to hide. Over there! Get after her now! What kind of queen are you? I'm chasing after her. You've got time to complain? Go after her! It will buy a little time while the humans are messing around. What is this? This piece of paper. Vanessa. It says Book of Vanessa is ready. Such is the case with... Are you saying that she's in this world? No, I must hide now. The humans are coming. It's around here. You guys search everywhere. Now go find her. The end of the road is a dead end. The humans will eventually come here. The only way left is to go to... the library's invitation. I don't know how the library knows about her. It's as if they're asking me out. Still,
There is only one thing to do. The only other place I haven't looked is this road. Can you hear me, Vanessa?
Oh wow, I didn't know we'd have guests from the outskirts. You see that jump? In fact, looks like she's getting pretty good treatment too. If she could jump that high, she's like that guy.
That's enough of the nonsense. I've got more on my mind than that.
What is it?
Book of Vanessa. I just found this book in the library a few minutes ago.
I've never heard that name before. Are you... Is that a friend from a previous job or something?
No, it isn't. I have never heard of that name either. That's why I used it in this invitation.
I see. And you said that the guest that comes with it is a impurity kid? From the looks of it, she wasn't originally in the outskirts, but still, she must be tough enough to be in the outskirts. Oh, that also means she's a nuisance.
I guess that means she has some survival skills, since she lives in the outskirts. And there's something about that guest that I've seen. There's something about them that I feel. It's fragmentary, but she looks like... it's nothing. Anyway, that guest's book has value. This reception will be an important one. Greetings, dear guest. I am Angela, the librarian, of my role's namesake. Angela, what do you know about her? You mean the book provided in the invitation? I have prepared a special invitation for you to visit this library. You can get the book you need now, Book of Vanessa, by overcoming the ordeals here. However, the ordeal that awaits you in the library is not an easy one. If you don't make it through the ordeal, you will be... It's like reading out of a script. The director of the library, pale librarian, Angela. Are you... a machine too? That's none of your business, is it? In terms of a machine that imitates a human being, you are like me. But now I am... No, not enough to talk to you. So much for my personal story. Overcome the ordeal, and you get Vanessa's book, don't you? Yes, you can get the book by overcoming the ordeal here. Of course, it will be painful. Whatever your situation was, the fact that you signed the invitation, I guess that means you are prepared to do so. What if the library collapses in the process of overcoming the ordeal? You have a lot of confidence. Because, as you said, I'm prepared to do what it takes. I would do anything for her. May you find your book in this place.
Ivy. Aesir. Question mark. Okay, so she's got a secret passive. Debug mode. At the start of the act, randomly grants frequencies to myself and all enemies. Randomly grants frequency to myself every scene. At the start of the scene, draw until 4 pages are in hand. Okay, fair enough. Initiate eradication process. Restore 2 light on hit, inflict 2 bleed. Data synchronization. Damage amount of your offensive dice plus 2 during the next scene. Grants enemies that are on their own frequency a beat. Vibrational in crush current. This die is rolled 3 times. Positioned assault. On use, grants enemies that are not on their own frequency a beat. Realm of Nihility. Grants all enemies a beat and adjusts the frequency of enemies randomly.
I see your chaos.
On use, target's dice power cannot be influenced by any effects next scene. Ugh, gross. On hit, deal stagger damage equal to 10% of the target's current stagger resist. Yeah. Alright, fair enough. Now, how brutal are we thinking of going here, huh? Are we thinking of cutting her a break? Or are we gonna do something like this and absolutely destroy her? How we feeling? Cut her a break? Fine. We'll cut her a little bit of a break, and instead, we'll bring Sheena, and Caius.
Your emotional sample has been received.
Okay. Let's see. Frequency. Current frequency 4. 4 and 4. And you are on 1. I don't know what that means, but it'll probably make sense shortly. Alright, first things first. Serum R injection.
The power, it comes to me.
Serum R.
You will know true pain.
I'm gonna go for brace up. Okay. Restrain should be relatively good. Then we're gonna go for shockwave. And finally, unlock. And combine tactics. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a nasty turn.
Try again. Serum R. Brace up.
Feeling a little bit under the weather.
Unlock. Combine tactics. You will be defeated one way or another.
So I still don't know what this frequency does. Target mark, that is from Caius. I'm gonna go big damage. Big damage. And then go for Herald's Congregation. That should be fine. We'll also go for Vigilant Observation. Restore a little bit of our stuff. Veiling after images. Actually, let's reverse that. Let's go Veiling right here. Unlock right here. We might even be Blade unlocked already.
Expiration R.
Okay.
Dodge, dodge, dodge. Ha! Unlock. Brace up.
Okay, next up. Let's see. Could technically. I'm gonna put it on Hod. You never know. Okay, what you got? Let's go for X-Rip. And then one more brace up, and then we're gonna swap stances. Let's go combine tactics. And then just go multi-slash.
Whim of the prescript.
How you doing? Okay. Beat. At the start of the scene, take 5 damage and subtract a stack. Okay, I see. So beat is like a, it's like bleed, at least in a way. Actually, where's the foot? There it is. The foot. Here we go.
The serum has been changed, and now the time has come. You're coming with me.
Oh, you're not taking damage anymore.
So be it. The next phase shall come.
Jammin'?
Your end is here.
Aesir Chaos.
Cannot be influenced. On use, okay. Fair enough then.
I guess we'll just have to deal with it ourselves.
Let's see how this goes.
Ow! You think a mere robot can overpower me? Fool.
Okay, Vigilant Observation doesn't quite work out. Lift the Mountain does roll maximum. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna go for Agile Strike. And then go for Brace Up, because that'll actually restore more light. And Herald's Congregation.
Here we go.
Ow. Okay, we expected to lose that one. Bailing after images.
Agile Strike.
Uppercut. Very good.
Herald's Congregation.
Everybody draws. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go for Alertness on Cheetah. Could go Black Swan. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Realm of Nihility.
Grants all enemies a beat. Adjust the frequency of enemies randomly.
So be it then. You will have to try harder than that. Here we go! Mass Summonation.
Okay. Talk about a base drop.
But even that will not be enough to stop us. You will simply have to try harder. Your music means nothing here. Remorseful grief. Brace up. Serum K.
Next up. Actually, let's go for Friend. Why not? Red Eyes. Alright. Caius, I'm going to need you to use Red Eyes. I'm sure you won't mind. Should be fine. And then double Brace Up, because we're going all in next turn if she doesn't die this turn.
Here we go.
Okay.
You're going to have to try harder. Mega debuffed. The power of the Red Eyes, while faint, can still be used to our advantage. Herald's Congregation!
Okay, everyone takes some damage.
It's time to go all in.
I'm kind of shocked that we do not have the ability to go into Ego yet.
Good, and that kid. Good. The beats can do nothing. Let's finish this.
Okay, she is mega debuffed. However, we're not looking so great ourselves.
Realm of Nihility. Manifest our own ego. Show her real power. Alright, the finale.
See, Decapitation unfortunately did not work. She was able to block it. Okay. Oh, Sheeta's down.
So be it. She ran! How dare you run from us?
Whew. I got the book, but it looks like she got away with it. But what is that power anyway? Of all the guys I've seen, I've never seen anyone handle that much power. It was kind of like a direct touch on the nerves. It also made my head feel kind of painful.
I've never seen a fight like that before either. You guys have given me a valuable book. Thank you.
Also, one more thing.
What else did you notice?
That guest called herself a machine, didn't she? Every guest who came here was a human being, right? How's it possible for a machine to come to the library?
Bottom line, it can't be. The library will send the humans affected by the light to... I'll send an invitation to those that were human too. I read that book once before I sent it, which appeared suddenly. It had some amazing things in it.
What kind of things?
Saitus, Architect, the Reconstruction Project. And then there was an entity called Library. All of them had a lot of stuff on them that doesn't exist in the library.
I've never heard of any of these words.
This is just one guess, but you can check it out at, I'm guessing from Vanessa's book, and from her, maybe she is from somewhere other than the city.
Is that because you were a guest from the outskirts?
That's also true, but it's not. It's not like that kind of advanced technology exists in the outskirts, right? Would it be easier to say another world?
Another world? Well, sure, if this city were another dimension or something exists. How did those come to the city?
And you also said that the guest was a machine like me. I'm pretty sure she was a machine in the other world. When you guys are reception...
She's been bleeding, right?
While you were in the reception, I noticed
that she was bleeding, right? And although it was faint, I thought I heard a strange creaking every time she moved. Huh.
Like a puppet. The Reverberation Ensemble, right?
That crazy group. I can't believe they can make such elaborate puppets. But then, where did that guest consciousness really come from?
I don't know. All the puppets I've seen so far have had their flesh spliced together. Maybe it's not just the puppeteer. Maybe it's a combination of all the other members of the troupe. Troupe? Troupe.
In that case, that nasty power must be the magic of that skeleton. I really don't know the principle.
Thanks for your help anyway. I'll let you know if I find anything else.
That makes sense. The full Reverberation Ensemble made a mega puppet with the power of dubstep. So, full transparency, I have literally no clue who Ivy is or what she comes from, but obviously she comes from a game, right? Or, I guess maybe... she looks too detailed to be, like, just from, like, a story? Maybe she's from an anime? I'm willing to bet she's from, like, a game. Maybe she's, I can't really think of any anime-style games that are dubsteppy. I was gonna say, I highly doubt she's from, like, DDR or something. I don't even think that's a thing you can get on Steam, is it? I don't know, but whatever. But, yeah, I have no clue what she comes from. Maybe she's from, like, Azure Lane? Not that I really know what Azure Lane is, but do they have, like, music dubstep people? Maybe. I don't know. Who could say? Why is it, whenever something weird happens in the library, I get sent off to deal with it? Seriously, this is tiring. Though, truth be told, if it wasn't so close to my floor, maybe I would have tried leaving it to one of the others. Hopefully it's not one of those weird abnormalities or a rogue guest. Nah, just a weird-looking set of doors. Were these here before? Maybe Angela's pulling a nasty prank on me. She doesn't seem the type, but you never know. Hello? Anyone or anything in here? Jeez, give me a break. Guess I've got no choice but to investigate. The heck is this? Is this a new floor? It doesn't have any bookshelves. Though, or any books for that matter. Where are the librarians? More importantly, why do I feel like I'm being watched? If this is a joke, Angela, I'm not laughing. Is that a cherry blossom tree? In a place like this? Well, it's the patron librarian. At least they look like one. That book in their hands. 05403? Isn't that an abnormality book? Why is it just sitting in their hands like that? Hey kid, wake up. You alright? You know, there are a bit more comfortable areas to take a nap rather than the ground. First Netzach, now you.
I'm sorry, Roland.
Judging by the fact that you know my name, I take it you're a patron librarian. Angela did mention you all already know the gist of the library itself, my presence included.
I think so. I don't exactly have a good answer, because I don't think I'm even supposed to be here, honestly.
Huh? What makes you say that? You're clearly the only other person on this floor, and your outfit looks, a lot similar to the ones the other patrons wear, rather than just some assistant's uniform.
I've been sleeping for a long time, it feels like. As for this outfit, I don't recall even owning anything like this. I know you have your own questions, but please, I'm confused myself. I feel dizzy.
And let's start with the basics. Would you mind introducing yourself to me?
My name is Locke. Locke Windsor.
Alright, Locke. What do you know about this floor?
Well, not much. I had only just woken up, after all. There's nothing in my memories that tell me what this floor is for exactly. Though, I don't think this gap I have within my memories helps.
Amnesia? Well, that's mildly concerning. Don't think I've encountered anyone here lacking in the memory department. Well, you must know about Angela, right? The other patrons knew her personally, it looked like. How about we go talk to her about the situation? She might be able to help you out.
Angela? She became the director of this place, right? I don't recall ever seeing her in person during my time as an agent, but I remember she was a bit scary.
Angela? Scary? Please. I've met scarier monsters in these books and on the streets.
Would you mind running that by me again, Roland?
Seriously? Why do you gotta sneak up like a... why do you gotta sneak up on me like that? What happened to warping yourself around in a flashy fashion? Oh, never mind that. What exactly brings you here?
After you didn't come back for a while, I assumed you went off to go get drunk on Netzach's floor. However, I didn't expect to see this place here. Truth be told, I thought I buried this place. This was originally not a section of which harbored many good memories of mine. Not only that, but it was where someone was fast asleep, never to be woken up again. Instead, here you are. By all accounts, you should be a mere assistant upon another floor, however, against all odds. So, you don't know why I'm here either? I was afraid of that. Why can't I remember what happened back then?
Perhaps you've repressed your memories? Maybe something really nasty happened during your time there, and now you tried not to remember them. From what I've heard and seen, Elcorp wasn't exactly a comfortable place to work.
That's going to be a problem, because even if Locke doesn't remember, there are those here that do, and they may not be willing to work alongside them. What do you mean? Did I do something really bad? It depends on who you ask, but for the most part the answer is yes. I hardly believe even the other patrons would be happy seeing you back.
Even if it happened in the past a long time ago, guess whatever it is wasn't anything great.
Then, what if I use this floor as a chance to not only redeem myself, but get my memories back?
Seriously? While it's somewhat applaudable, do you really want to remember something that made an entire place turn its back against you?
I know it won't be easy, but I've got to at least try, right? My brother once told me that if you don't know what you're apologizing for, then it's not really an apology. So I want to get my memories back and show that whatever it is that had happened, I'm not that person anymore. It must be done. I believe in that firmly. So would you please at least allow me to prove I can hold myself as a patron librarian? There's no one on this floor, Locke. You're the only librarian here. That tree and that book. You are aware they are abnormalities.
Is that why I felt like I was being watched? I was curious why that tree stood out from the other ones here.
Then I'll fight. I'll fight alongside the abnormalities. I won't lie, the thought is scary. These abnormalities, I'm terrified of them. But I want to prove I can do something. Angela, you're able to grant these things a human form, right? If we could do that, if I could prove I could fight alongside them like that, then will you allow this place to be recognized as a floor? Locke. Since you helped me in the past, I suppose it's time I return the favor. If you can complete a reception against another floor here in a similar manner as our guests do, alongside the abnormalities, I'll allow you to become a patron librarian. Keep in mind, the forms they take are only temporary, and there is the danger of abnormalities reverting back to their true selves. We can start off with the abnormality you were sleeping against, and the one in your hands there. That way, you won't be overwhelmed, and can see how your assistants will react in battle.
Are you seriously going through with this? Some of the abnormalities here are brutal. Even if Locke's had experience with them before, I don't think it's safe.
It's as I said. Locke helped me out a while back. Even if they don't remember it, I should at least honor it. Besides, I'm quite curious as to how things would go if an abnormality was granted the ability to fight.
I've got a bad feeling.
Don't worry, I remember a few things I learned. I can handle the abnormalities. I'll be trusting them, so I hope they can trust me. Just let me know once you're prepared. I'll guide you onto the floor you'll be battling upon.
Here we go. Locke. 100 health, 60 stagger resist. Wow, you are squishy. Remembrance, if an ally has died, gain 2 strength at the end of each scene. Fearfulness, at the end of each scene, gain 1 haste and 1 strength if no other allies are present. Art of Defense, Guardian, and Half-Baked Courage. Faint Struggle, 2-4, 3-4, 2-5. Fight or Flight. Gain 2 haste next scene. On hit, gain 1 strength next scene. Baton Swinging. On Clash Win, inflict 1 Feeble. Usual Suppression. On use, restore 2 Light. 2 to 5, 2 to 6 on Clash Win, inflict 1 Feeble, and 3 to 7. Safety Team Knowledge. On use, restore 1 Light and draw 1 page. And then on Clash Win, on the final die, restore 1 Light. Disciplinary Team Knowledge. On kill, give 1 strength to all allies next scene. 4 to 8, 3 to 8, gain 2 strength next scene. And 2 to 6, inflict 2 fragile next scene. I'll protect them all. On use, give 2 protection to 2 random other allies next scene. 6 to 10, 5 to 10, deal 2 damage to target. 8 to 12, give 2 protection to the ally with the highest HP next scene. File not found. Database. I have not a... Oh my god. Is this freaking... Hurts? Oh no. Okay. Ranged Electric Shock has a chance of applying paralysis. Speed 1. Calmness. On Clash Win, boost the max value of the next die by +3 at a 25% chance. At emotion level 2 or above, if the character spent charge using combat pages in the previous scene, gain 1 strength at the start of the next scene. 1s and 0s. 3 to 6, gain 1 charge. On use, gain 1 charge. 6 to 7, 3 to 8. On Clash Win, inflict 2 paralysis. Okay. Follow the code. On use, gain 2 charge, restore 1 light. On hit, recover 3 stagger resist. Loading. On use, gain 2 strength, next scene. Block, 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 and then counter slash with on Clash Win, gain 2 charge. Discharge. On use, restore 1 light, draw 1 card. Page. On Clash Win, inflict 1 paralysis. On Clash Win, inflict 1 paralysis. Binarize. Spend 3 charge to reduce the power of all dice on the opponent's page by 2. On hit, inflict 1 feeble disarm and bind. On Clash lose, gain 1 charge. System Overload. Spend 4 charge to boost power of all dice on this page by +2. On hit, target loses 2 light next scene. Okay. Cherry Blossoms. Open Wound. Speed die 1. Upon a successful slash attack, inflict 1 bleed, and slash stagger damage +1. Use a pink. 2 to 5, 2 to 5, deal 2 stagger. Spring Breeze. On use, restore 2 light. Dodge, inflict 1 bleed. Screaming Petals. Block, 4 to 7 slash, deal 3 stagger, and on... evade on hit, inflict 3 bleed next turn. I think that's supposed to be on Clash Win. I don't know. Alluring Flowers. On hit, inflict 2 bleed. On hit, draw 1 page. Okay. Dance of Spring. If HP is at 25% or lower, all dice on this page gain +2 power. On hit, recover 3 HP. Dying Petals. Inflict 2 bleed next scene. If target has bleed, recover 3 health. Ritual of Spring. Upon each successful slash attack this scene, inflict 1 bleed next scene. On Clash Win, inflict 2 bleed next scene. On hit, recover 3 stagger resist. On hit, recover HP equal to stacks of bleed on the target. Okay. Well, I'm curious how this will go. I'm kind of curious how this will go. So we're just gonna take a little bit of a look-see here and see what we can do. Good damage. Very good. Okay, now we're gonna take a little bit of damage. That's fine. All right. Bubble. All allies gain speed. Yeah, reduce the cost. Why not? Actually, accelerating shower. Yeah, we're gonna need that while we're solo. I'm going to go... Let's see, what is the most? This. And then we will also go for Restrain. Here we go. Good. Become restrained. Okay, we're out of counter dice. They all take a lot of damage from Bubble. I'm going to use Mask. Okay. Remorseful Grief right here. And then don't have enough light. Okay, Locke is about ready to go down. Down he goes. Okay, good clashes. We're gonna take some damage now. Alright, Forbidden Fruit. Small flutters. And ending. Why not? Now, this is where it gets juicy. Stilted Realm. Okay. Could go for... Actually, how much is Stilted Realm? It's 3. I'm gonna go Shockwave right here. And then Stilted Realm. Yes. Should be just fine. Boom. Okay, Shockwave didn't quite work out for us. That's okay. We take some damage. Now then, let us see what we can truly do. Block that, and then try and finish him off. Ugh! Okay, so Sally almost did this just completely legit. Like, she almost did this without dying a single time. So, I'm willing to say she did pretty dang good. Now, obviously, she did die, but we have a little trick up our sleeve for that. So,
this is over.
well, it wasn't the abnormalities that ended Locke, but the other librarians. You weren't kidding on how there were quite a few that disliked Locke and kept shooting them nasty looks. If looks could kill, Locke would have been dead before the round even started.
Truth be told, I was surprised the two abnormalities were willing to work alongside Locke like that. You see, the incident that made Locke hated by many didn't just apply to the librarians themselves. The abnormalities were also riled up by Locke's actions. Mere monsters that either cowered or openly attacked Locke, all because of what this place had done to them. Yet, it's obvious Locke cannot recall those events. The way they've acted since our meeting is just like how they acted back then, when they first joined the company. A cowardly heart behind heroic actions. Yet, unlike then, here they are, trying to fight alongside monsters they once feared.
So now what? Is Locke gonna stay inside their book, or are they becoming an assistant somewhere in the library? They'd lost, and as agreed on, their floor won't become part of the library.
This is Locke's book on my desk. As you can see, I'm not going to keep them trapped in there. Nor am I going to simply let them be an assistant on a floor that perhaps might otherwise try to sabotage them during a reception. Granted, the abnormalities might be capable of the same thing, but the two I allowed on the floor proved that there is perhaps a chance.
You're gonna allow them to become a patron librarian?
I'm alive? That's correct. I've decided to fulfill your request to the fullest. I will permit you to be recognized as a patron librarian, and your floor a member of the library. However, I will be putting limitations in place if you are serious about relying on the abnormalities as your assistants. I do not expect your floor to receive many guests, but for the ones you do get, I expect you to keep your assistants in line.
What would you even call that floor? Feels like the majority of subjects are already covered. There's not much left. I'm still not sold on the idea of a floor filled with nothing but abnormalities and one single person trying to take care of them, but if you're serious about this, you should at least think about what kind of purpose a floor will serve subject-wise.
Floor of Inhumanities? As far as I know, there's no floor dedicated to stuff like the abnormalities themselves or even the distortions. I think it'd be fitting if my floor was something like that, maybe?
That sounds terrifying. Fitting, but terrifying.
I can approve of that, as long as you take care of the books and do your part in the library. I'll do my best. Angela, Roland, thank you so much. It's pretty scary, but I'm so happy. Just let me know if there's anything I can do.
You certainly got a lot of determination. I've faced worse, but that still sounds like quite a lot to take care of.
I expect you to help lock out too, Roland. Your floor is the closest to their own, after all.
I never get a break. Locke, was it? I'll do my best to support you then.
Same to you, Roland. Again, thank you.
Yes. Ivy. Naimon. Inteleon. Icarus. Database. Cherry Blossoms.
And we didn't get a single one of Locke. Very cool.
Alrighty, so
I believe that is going to do it for this episode of the Library of Ruina. So, about that whole extra floor thing, I don't think that's an actual thing. I think it's just like, theme-wise, it's an actual floor, because obviously there is no floor of Inhumanities. Not to mention, you also get 2 patron block thingies. So, I don't know if it just takes over a floor or what, but, yeah. So, anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of the Library of Ruina. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I tried to stuff as much into this one as possible, since in the next one, we are going to be going after the second part of the City of Drama, starting here and going all the way to here, which will probably take an entire episode all on its own, if it's anything like the previous one. But that's fine. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.